All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, folks. Don't fade the Titans. Don't fade the Titans. This new look Tennessee Titans team, led by brand new head coach Brian Callahan, I am loving what they're doing. They have the 7th pick in the NFL draft that is just a little over a week away. They're either going to be taking one of the best in the business at the tackle position in Joe Alt. They could walk away with a playmaker. We're going to discuss the draft a little bit later on, but people are freaking out because of some of these players that they lost offensively and defensively, right? Most notably Derrick Henry. But folks, you're about to see a whole new culture. We kind of saw the culture change last season, right? When Will Levis was implemented as the starting quarterback. But guys, I'm telling you, Brian Callahan, he is going to forge an offensive identity. He is going to forge a new culture, a new innovation culture, a new offensively driven culture in Tennessee. And folks, I'm looking at this team, even on paper, this is the best their offense has looked, in my opinion, in a very long time, and they lost one of the best running backs in the National Football League. Like, I'm telling you right here, right now, we saw Brian Callahan with Joe Burrow in his second year when 2021 Comeback Player of the Year. Folks, Will Levis looked good last year. He looked good for a rookie QB thrown out there halfway through the season. The draft, once again, it's coming up. The Tennessee Titans are going to have a couple of options, most likely. We're going to discuss that. But Tony Pollard, Lloyd Cushenberry, Calvin Ridley, the new faces offensively. Yeah, don't fade the Titans, man. So welcome back to the channel. It's been way too long. It's been a couple of weeks since our last Titans video, so welcome back to the channel. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL videos, Titans fans. You guys always show so much love on these videos. I appreciate you guys so much. If you want more, let me know down below. But if we could try and get this video to 500 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So technically, Tennessee only has 2 picks in the top 100. You've got the 7th overall pick, and then you have your second round draft pick. Now, here's where things get a little bit interesting. You got pick number 7, and it's such a quarterback heavy draft class, and you've got wide receiver names like Malik Neighbors out there, Odunze, Brock Bowers at the tight end position. This is reportedly also this crazy historical tackle position draft. So Tennessee's going to have a couple of options. Right now, it seems like the clear-cut consensus draft pick is Joe Alt at pick number 7. The left tackle position is a huge question mark for the Tennessee Titans in general. Here's a crazy stat. When I first read this, I actually could not believe it was real. Last year's starters combined to allow 29 of the 64 sacks that the Tennessee Titans gave up last season. Andre Dillard, 13, and then rookie Jalen Duncan with 16. I cannot believe that is a real statistic. So here's where it gets a little bit interesting. You've got the Los Angeles Chargers at pick number 5, right? It looks like the first 3 draft picks are going to be quarterbacks. And it looks like, what is it, for the first time ever, I believe, that 4 rookie quarterbacks could go in the first 4 draft selections. The Chargers, obviously, with Justin Herbert, aren't taking a QB. Even if the Chargers snag your guy in Joe Alt, who, and I'm a biased Notre Dame fan, is the best in the business. Like, he is that good. I get it. Sometimes, you draft any offensive lineman in the top 10, closer even to the top 5, it feels a little bit underwhelming. And then they come out here in their rookie season and start producing right away. And you're like, oh, who cares? That was just 1 hour of, because it's not like this flashy Caleb Williams. Not that Joe Alt's not going to be this crazy talent, but you guys get what I'm saying. It's not going to be, Caleb Williams, whatever. So I saw a poll from Buck Riesling, and this was interesting. Or Two Rivers Ford, actually. Who do you want the Titans to do, or what do you want them to do, if the Chargers take Joe Alt at 5? 45% of Titans fans said take the best available wide receiver. It'll probably be, I don't think Marvin Harrison Jr. will be available. I think it'll be either Odunze or Malik Neighbors. 17.9% said best available left tackle, and then 36.7% said trade out of 7. So this is where it's important to note that Tennessee only has 2 picks in the top 100. So defensively, a lot of new faces coming on over. Offensively, love what they're looking like with Will Levis. I'm very bright on Will Levis's future, but you made a trade for a guy like L'Jarius Sneed, a lockdown cornerback. You made a great signing that I saw pegged on a headline as one of the worst offseason signings in the NFL, and that's Kenneth Murray. Your DC is going to love Kenneth Murray's ability to rush the QB and hit that QB and just wreck and cause havoc. But the point still stands. It's not going to be real quick with the defense because, once again, you did lose some important players, but they were mainly getting on the older side, right? Not Algiers, but you had, why can't I think of his name, that went to Danico Autry, right? You lost guys like Danico. So you do have to revamp your defensive trenches, but keep in mind you still have Jeffrey Simmons, who is just in general probably the most underrated defensive tackle in the National Football League, and he's that freaking good. So offensively is mainly where I expect to see the biggest jump with Tennessee this upcoming season. Last year was horrible. They were the 5th worst ranked offense in the NFL, averaging less than 18 points per game. Ryan Tannehill was a nightmare, 4 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. But once we saw Will Levis come in, he did get banged up later on in the season. But I really liked, especially against that game against the Dolphins, offensive trenches, super important. So that's why you picked up a star center in Lloyd Cushenberry from the Denver Broncos. You had DeAndre Hopkins. We're still kind of, Treylon Burks, I'm still hopeful if he can stay on the field. I know he's got so much potential, but that's why you went out there to support your second-year quarterback, technically last year, your rookie QB. You boost it, right? You had DeAndre Hopkins. You boost it with Calvin Ridley. Jacksonville Jaguars, this was also some weird reason pegged as one of the most overrated signings in free agency. I don't understand that. But I do think, I like the re-signing of Westbrook-Ikhine. I'm hopeful on Treylon Burks, but I guarantee you they will draft a wide receiver at some point in this draft. I would not be surprised if they, if Joe Alt gets taken, if they take a wide receiver at pick 7, if they trade back, take a wide receiver, if they take a tight end like Brock Bowers, because we did hear your head coach, Brian Callahan, say we need tight ends. We've only got 3 on the roster. But I do just want to say, I think Okonkwo is one of the more underrated, underappreciated, underrecognized tight ends in the National Football League. Tony Pollard, to me, gives your team so much versatility. So, right, last year you had Tannehill and Derrick Henry, kind of a run it down your throat, right? Winning the offensive trenches. Now with Calvin Ridley joining your team, and now with Tony Pollard joining your team, moving on from Derrick Henry, moving on from Ryan Tannehill, you're becoming more versatile. You have more playmaking littered all across your offensive board. And either if they take Joe Alt, if they take Malik Neighbors, if they take Brock Bowers, it doesn't matter. The Tennessee Titans offense next season is going to be so much better and more exciting. I actually cannot wait to watch Tennessee Titans offensive game specifically next year. Now, we rambled on about the offense for 8 whole minutes, so I was going to touch on the defense. We'll touch on the defense because I love your new defensive coordinator. I think he is a freaking beast. We'll talk about that in our next Titans video. So if this video hits 500 likes, we'll go ahead and drop that. So hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. But most importantly, Titans fans, what are you doing at pick number 7? And then what are you doing if, like say your pick 7 is Joe Alt. Let's say Joe Alt got taken. What are you doing at pick 7? Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you soon.